Tell you something, I have never grown this elephant bush plant before. I have seen it in the nursery, but it's just not my kind of plant that I want to grow. So a few weeks ago, one of my YouTube viewers messaged me asking about this plant, right? So today we are going to use the grow method to find out exactly how to grow this plant well, right? Even you or me, we don't have any kind of experience, we don't have any kind of knowledge, but the grow method works effectively. Right? The underlying principle of the grow method is to recreate, right? Is to duplicate their natural habitat in our own garden, in our own environment. And that's because, the in their natural habitat, right, the plants do not experience any kind of stress, right? They can grow to their full potential. They are super comfortable, right? So it's like, just recreating something similar to their home, right? So that they feel at home, they feel comfortable, and that's where they can grow easily. So that's the principle of the grow method. And the first step of the grow method is to find out the growing conditions, right? The growing condition that makes up their natural habitat. So we'll look at the 5 growing conditions, and that is light, water, humidity, potting media, and feeding, right? And we can do that easily by looking at the photos of their natural habitat, right? We just need to search online. So we will just, go to Google, just type in, elephant bush plant in the wild, elephant bush natural habitat, right? You will get to see many of these photos of their natural habitat. So let's look at the first growing condition, and that is light, and we look at these photos. So can you see that they are found in very open area and the plants are always exposed to sun? Right? And this tells us that, the elephant bush needs direct sunlight for most of the day, right? Or 6 to 8 hours every day in order to grow well. So can you see how effective the grow method is, right? Just by this one growing condition. You can see there is no guesswork, right? You will immediately know exactly how much sunlight to give your plant. You have never grown this plant before, but looking at the photos, you have a very good idea of what kind of light condition that you need to give your plant. So next we look at water. So what do you see, right? Look at the photos, look at the ground, right? Look at the soil, right? It looks pretty dry, right? And therefore, we do not need to water them very regularly, right? We want to keep the soil dry most of the time. So we will only water the plant when the topsoil feels really dry, like bone dry, right? You can feel that it's lack of moisture, right? That's when you water. Alright, so you can see we are slowly building out the different growing conditions and form up the growing environment for the plant. Right, strong sunlight, less watering, and we move on to the next growing condition, and that is humidity. So from the photos, right, we know they are out in the open, they are in a pretty dry area, right, and that means that there will be very good air circulation, right, and air circulation means wind, right, and winds draw away the humidity, and generally the environment is quite dry. So humidity level is actually quite low most of the time in that natural habitat. So and we will want to grow this plant at home, right? We can choose a windy spot, a place where humidity is expected to be lower, right? So you'll be like a balcony, your windowsill, right? And the fourth growing condition we look at is potting media. So from the photos, we can look at the soil, we can look at the ground that they are grown in, right? They look pretty dry and gritty, right? And we can see other plants around. So we can use this information, right, to understand, what is the soil condition like. So we can use very draining soil like burnt earth we mix with compost, right? And then, we mix them together, we'll form a pretty fertile and pretty draining soil, right? Perfect for this plant. So that is how you look at soil condition and potting media growing condition, right? So the last growing condition is feeding. And feeding, I mean fertilizing, right? Fertilizing the plants. So we do see plants around, and we do see, like there will be dried leaves, and there will be plant matter in the soil, right? Therefore, there are some nutrients in the soil. So we can use general growth fertilizer for this plant, right? So simply, you can use Osmocote, Giavota, or any kind of like general growth, right? Just simply follow the label and the instructions, and you'll be just fine. So 5 growing conditions, and when you put all of them together, you created their ideal environment, very close to what they have in the wild. right? So this way, your chance of success is a lot, right? Is way higher than you trying to guess and trying to trial and error and kill a lot of plants and get all this frustration and things like that, right? Right, and the thing is, you have never grown this plant before, but with the grow method, you know exactly how to grow it well. Right, that's the power of the grow method. So if you want to learn more about the grow method, right, make sure you click on the link in the description below. Download my free ebook called Grow. Right, you will find everything you need to know and all the information that you need to implement and use the grow method in your own garden or in your own home. Right, and with that grow method, right, gardening becomes so much easier, right? It becomes so easy that anyone with or without experience can enjoy gardening, right? And you cannot enjoy gardening without all this kind of worries, stress, frustrations, right? You don't need special tools, you don't need special knowledge, you don't need special equipment, and you definitely don't need green fingers. Right? All you need is the implementation of the grow method. So try it yourself and let me know in the comments below and let me know how the grow method has worked for you. And remember to subscribe. Every week we review new plants with the grow method. Enjoy your gardening and I will see you soon.